channel, or welcome back if you're returning.
Hey y'all, so today we're going to make these. It's a two-tier tray, but really it's almost like two-tier baskets, and this hello love sign. Every time my husband calls me, he says hello love as soon as I answer the phone. So I thought that was really cute. And like I said, this is just how I styled up the basket. We're also going to make this home tag. It can be hung on the door, on a wall, or I just have it propped up. Hope you all enjoy this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you do. I truly appreciate it. Also, I'd love to hear y'all's feedback. DIY number 1 will be the two-tiered baskets. For this, you're going to need a set of stovetop covers from the Dollar Tree. You get 2 in a package, which is always awesome. And I picked up this pillar candle. That's what I'm going to use as my middle support because I wanted something taller than just the glass candlesticks. So I just go through, take off the plastic all over it. I want to add a little texture to this. So I'm going to take these glass half beads that I got from Hobby Lobby. I've been obsessed with these lately. Y'all forgive my hands. I was working on another project before I filmed this and it was staining and I got it all over the place. But anyway, I love these little half marbles maybe? Beads. I don't really know what they are. But I wanted to add some texture so it wasn't just a plain pillar underneath or between the two trays. So I just took these and I'm going to glue them all the way around. I show you that I start gluing 3 rows, one on the top, one on the middle, and one on the bottom. But I end up not even worrying with the bottom because you really don't see it. The top layer you do see and the middle layer you do see, but you don't see the top layer. There I got that one a little off and tried to off center and tried to take it off. Believe me, that was not coming off. That stuck, and that was like glass on glass with just hot glue, but that stuck so much there was no getting that off. So I'm just gonna go around all the way around the candle, the pillar, the jar, whatever you want to call it. I just put a glob of hot glue on there, stick it to it, and I butt them up right on top, right against the other one. I cannot talk tonight, y'all. And it just so happened, I don't know how, but I actually got it even and didn't have a big old gap. So then I did the middle row. Like I said, I didn't worry about that bottom row because you really don't see it, so there was no sense in it. Now I'm going to take my folk art chalk paint in white and I'm going to paint the entire thing. The beads, the candle pillar, everything. I slung paint all over the place. I don't know what I was thinking or what got into me. So I'm just going through and painting all over it. It's a little hard to get down in those grooves, but if you take your time, you can get in them between those beads or marbles or glass or whatever it is. So now I'm going to take some Waverly chalk paint in Elephant and we're going to go through and do some distressing. I just get my chip brush out and I just do light coats. I put a little bit on and then I dab it off of my brush and I just do light coats all the way around. Again, doing the beads, the in-betweens, everything. Don't worry about the bottom. You're not going to see the bottom. It's going to be glued down to one of these stove burners, so don't worry about that at all. If y'all hear background noise, please forgive me. My husband is in the kitchen talking on the phone while I am in the bedroom trying to do a voiceover. And if y'all think I'm loud, he's loud. Now we're going to take the second stove cover, which this is a smaller one, doing the exact same thing. We're going to paint that bottom. We're not even worrying about the inside of it because it's going to be white anyway, so I just didn't even worry about it. It wasn't worth it. Or the sides, because we're covering those up. Now we're going to take our pillar, and I just measured as best I could where the center would be, and I drew a little circle around it just so I would know exactly where to glue, but that came right off. It was just waterproof, or not waterproof, just a washable marker. So, but I just needed to see, because y'all know I'm not one to measure. And here I guess I'm deciding how I'm going to glue this, or where I'm going to glue it, because I start to glue on the pan and then I change my mind. I go ahead and put a couple dabs of the E6000 on the candle holder or candlestick, and hot glue. Sticks great, y'all. I was so excited, but I do go ahead and reinforce around it, just because you never know with hot glue and glass. Now we're going to take some clothespins from the Dollar Tree again. I think I bought 6 packs of these clothespins, and I think I used 3, right at 3, maybe possibly a couple above 3, like, but I don't think so. I believe it was about 3 packs. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take some hot glue, I'm going to open it up, and on each end there, I'm going to put a little bit of a dab of hot glue. Then I'm going to take it, I'm going to clip it on the pan, or the stove top cover, and just hold it on there for a minute. I'm going to do the same exact thing all the way around. Again, I just butt these up to each other, beside each other. There's not really much space at all between them, but you're just going to do this through the entire pan. It's really easy. It doesn't take as long as you might think it would. I think I sat and watched some YouTube videos while I was doing this, sitting at my desk. So it's not hard. Again, just going through 2 dots of glue on there, sticking them on there, butting them right up against each other. And this is what it looks like on the bottom layer when you've got them all on there. I wish I would have counted those for y'all, but I forgot all about it. Didn't even think about it. So I apologize for that. Now I'm going to do like a whitewash. So I've got my white folk art chalk paint, and I've got my water. And what I'm doing is I'm dipping my brush in my paint, and then I'm dipping it in the water. But now it's not as whitewashed as I thought it was going to be. It turned out a little bit darker, but I'm okay with that, because I did want the wood covered, but I didn't want it to be like a major coat. So this was good for me. This color, it turned out really well, and I really liked how it turned out. And I just go through and I paint all of the outsides of the clothespins. I am such a messy painter. Actually, I'm a messy crafter. I make the biggest mess. There you see, I did the outside and the inside, and I distressed with that elephant color the same exact way that I did on the candlestick. Now I've lost a bead. That's the one I think I was trying to get off, so I loosened it. I don't know if that's the one or not, but yeah, nope, it's not. It's a different one. But anyway, I just stick that right back on there. And now we're gonna go into the second stove burner, and we're gonna do the same exact thing. We are going to put a dot of hot glue on either one of those prongs, put it on there, and we're going to go all the way around this stovetop cover. And I just put them as close to each other as I possibly can, but I want to make sure that they're not overlapping each other or anything like that. I want them to be as clean as possible going around there. So just butt them up as close as they'll get to each other, and that's all you got to do for this. This is a little bit of a longer project, only because of all the hot glue that you have to do tediously like that, but it's actually a really easy project. So here we are the next day, because I got lazy and stopped the DIY. And I have a different shirt on, I have different fingernails, and look, my hands are clean. They will not stay that way probably. So now I did the same thing with the top, or with this, the smaller stove top cover. I put the clothespins all the way around it, did a whitewash on it, the inside and the outside. I've got my little finger grip thing on here, my little silicone brush, because I'm going to put some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. I think this might be a complete Dollar Tree project except for my paint. And we're just going to go around a little ways from the top on both of these. My thumb's too fat for my silicone thing to fit on, so couldn't put it on there. But we're just going to wrap this around, and what I do is I put a dab of hot glue on every other clothespin and just wrap it all around. And I don't get perfect on this. Y'all know how I am. I can't cut a straight line. I can't draw a straight line. Apparently, I can't even go around a straight line. So I just get as close as I can. And there I was off, so I'm trying to get it off of there. And that rope was not coming off. Finally, I get it. But I mean, it was stuck on there. So don't worry about your rope coming off. I use Gorilla Hot Glue, and believe me, that stuff sticks. So again, I'm just putting a little dab of hot glue on every other clothespin. I probably could have got away with less than that, but at this minute, I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to hold, and I wanted to make sure this was a good hold. It's really just for decorative purposes. So now I'm going to take one of these round wood pieces that, oh, I did get this from the Hobby Lobby in a wood variety pack. And I'm going to put that on top of the candle. And the reason I'm going to do that is because then that gives the stovetop cover something more stable to sit on other than just the rim of that glass. So that's what I do. And I'm going to use E6000 and hot glue to glue on the top stovetop cover. And this is it, y'all. That's all it was. That's all it took. This is how it turned out. I just styled it with a few things in the bedroom. DIY number 2, y'all. This is so easy. I'm almost ashamed to call this a DIY. But I got this idea from Heidi Samble. I saw something that she had done on one of her videos and I loved it. And like I told you all before, one of the things that my husband always says to me is, "Hello, love." And so when I saw her, I think she did it with just love. And I knew that I had hello and love here, and I just loved the idea. So anyway, I'm taking a 5-gallon paint stir stick. I cut off the very tip of it where it curves, like the handle. And I'm going to stain it. I didn't measure it or anything. I just wanted that tip cut off, that handle cut off. Can you believe I'm putting on gloves? That's only because I just got my nails done. But then later I come back in on another project and stain, and don't even worry with the gloves. But what I'm using is the antique wax, the Waverly wax in antique. I'm just doing the top of the paint stir stick and the sides. I'm going to do the same exact thing with the hello and the love. Just taking a baby wipe, dipping it in my wax, and wiping it all over there. I did have to take a brush to get in between the letters. I didn't want them completely covered. That didn't bother me, but I did not want them to be so light when I'm putting this wax on there at a darker color. So I did have to stop, and I went in with a paintbrush to do all of that. I don't worry about the backs. Depending on how you display it, in all actuality, you can see the back sometime, but I'm truthfully not worried about it. Where I'm going to put it at is not going to be in front of like a mirror or anything like that, so it doesn't really bother me. But here I go in, I'm taking that brush, and I'm just going in and getting in between all of those letters. Like I said, it did not need to be, I didn't care if it was a full coverage coat, but I didn't want it to be so drastic without staining it some, at least a little bit. So now I'm going to take my Folk Art white and my chibi brush, and that's the paint stick. I'm just running across it. Now with this, I'm taking my small chippy brush, which is really a stencil brush from Dollar Tree, and I'm taking that white and I'm just going around the letters. I don't want a heavy distress here, but I really like, and that tip keeps coming off of my brush. I must have got a defective one, but I really like the way this highlights it. I see Melissa on All Things Crafty. She does this a lot, and her pieces always look, they make it look finished, I think. I don't know how to explain it, but she does a really great job, and I love how she kind of highlights everything. Is what it is, kind of what it is to me. It just makes it stand out a little bit more. So I did get this technique from her. I'm not the first to come up with any technique, believe me. But y'all check her out. She's really amazing. And then I just go around the heart too. And now I'm going to take the white and I'm going to go over those hearts. Now I didn't do a full coat, just a little like dry brushing on it. I just wanted them to look a little bit distressed to go along with everything. And I just didn't like the completely dark with where everything else had been distressed a little bit or highlighted or whatever you want to say. So I'm going to use some wood glue. That's Gorilla wood glue and hot glue to stick these on. Y'all see I got a Christmas shirt on again. That's because I ruin my clothes. Y'all know I'm a messy crafter, and I ruin my clothes when I'm crafting because I get paint on them, glue on them, everything. So I've tried to make myself wear a shirt that wasn't going to get ruined. So that's why you'll see me with some Christmas shirts on. Now I'm just going in with my staple gun on the love part, and I'm going to go ahead and put a couple staples in there just to secure that, just to make sure it's got a really good hold. And now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to glue my hello on top of my love. Y'all can totally paint the backs of these if it bothers you. Honestly, for me, it does not bother me. Now, if I were to be giving this to someone, then I would most definitely have painted the backs. But it's going in my room, in my house, so I'm really not worried about it. So you see, the first time it comes straight off there. But I eventually get the hold on there. I use a little bit more hot glue than some might like, but I do go ahead and get it on there. And then I just take some dowel rods and put them on the back just to support it, the two words being together. Now I'm just going to take my two hearts. I'm going to glue them together so they're like interlocking hearts. I don't get a perfect fit on this, but that's okay. I love how it looks. This is probably one of my favorite ones in this video, and mainly because of the meaning behind it, because that's always what he says to me when he calls me. He can call me from work, and as soon as I pick up the phone, he says, "Hello, love." And it just tickles me to death, especially after 28 years that he's still saying stuff like that. So this is one of my favorite projects for that reason, not necessarily any other reason other than the sentimental value of this project for me. So, and that's what I do. I like to craft. I love to craft. And I like to have some of it to have a meaning. So that's the meaning behind this. I have no idea what I'm doing here, y'all, or why we're so slow and why I didn't speed you up right here. Okay, so now we've got it all glued on. We've got it all together. I love this, y'all. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of decorative touches. Y'all know me. I like a bow on just about everything. And this is springy for me, so I have to have some greenery on there. So I just put a little bit of greenery on the front with a little bow, and then I make a little lace bow, excuse me, for one of the hearts. I love how this turned out. So easy. And honestly, y'all, this project probably cost about $2.50 because each side was $1, the hello and the love. The hearts came with either either 4 or 6 in a pack, and then the paint stir stick I already had. So, I mean, I'm talking $2.50. Cheap and beautiful, in my opinion. This is how it turned out. I love it. I think it turned out so cute. DIY number 3. So we're going to start off with one of these tags from the Dollar Tree. This one is a Valentine's Day one, but I want to say in my stash I still have Christmas ones, but this is the one I got to first, so this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use the back, and I'm going to paint it with the Folk Art chalk paint in white. And I keep trying to find the right brush that I want to use. And finally, I just say forget it and pour all my paint on there. This is almost an empty bottle anyway. I just go through and do one good coat. I want full coverage, but then again, if some of the brown peeks out, that's not a big deal to me. I'm not worried about the back. Again, if I was giving it away, I would finish it with some craft paper. And I eventually may do that, but for now, I'm just not worried about it. Then I have one of these signs again, but this one says home. And I'm going to do the same technique on this. We're going to take the Waverly Wax in Antique. I'm going to go in with a brush in the middle parts. And then I'm going to take my baby wipe and dip it in the wax. And then go through and just stain the top. Again, I used the brush on the middle just because it was way too hard to get in there with the baby wipe. And I didn't like the contrast without the paint on the inside, or the wax on the inside. So I'm just going through and drying it. Now we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to highlight those letters with some white just to give it that shadow effect or that highlighting effect. I don't know what you would call it. But y'all, this is another simple project. This project was about $3. Here is a wreath, and I'm pretty positive I got this from the Dollar Tree, but I don't know when I got it from the Dollar Tree. Because I believe that's the tag to it, maybe. I don't know. But I just take this willow wreath, or whatever you call it, grapevine wreath, glue it onto the front. And these flowers I found at Dollar Tree the other day, and they are gorgeous. I love the flowers on them. I love the leaves on them, and I use every part of them. I got the purple ones out just in case I wanted to use those, but once I got the white in there, and the white have a little bit of the purple in them, but I loved how the white made it look. I'm going for crisp and clean looking and springy looking because I'm so sick and tired of all the dreariness. So I needed something to liven up our room a little bit. I needed something with a little bit of, I know white and green are not a whole lot of colors, but they're clean colors to me. And if you didn't want to, you wouldn't even have to cover the back of this sign. You could use the back of it for when it is Halloween. Y'all, I can't even get my holidays straight for when it is Valentine's Day. So I'm just taking these little flowers and I'm just kind of going on the bottom. I'm just gluing on the bottom part of that wreath with the flowers. And then I think, well, I need to go up a little more, but I don't really have enough flowers. So that's where the leaves come in. The greenery part of these picks, but apparently I'm still gluing on flowers. But now I am taking the greenery. I'm debating on how I want to do it at first. Okay, no, I'm not. Okay, no big deal. We're still on the flowers. I'm debating here how I want to do this greenery. And I just go up part way. I don't go all the way up to the top because I know that I'm going to put a bow on there, but I do want that greenery in there. I want that pop of green against the white and with the white flowers. And these are the greenery off of the same exact picks. I picked off the flowers and then I went through and picked off the greenery, and I'm just gluing it on each side just until it looks like I have a cohesive equal amount on either side. And y'all, crafting's not perfect, so if you're off or you think you're off, don't worry about it. If you like it, that is totally all that matters. Crafting's not supposed to be perfect, and I'm my worst critic. I really am. I mean, I can look at something and say, oh my goodness, look at that. And my husband will look at it and say, I have no clue what you're looking at. But here's what that looks like with the home. And oh, I just took the home and just glued it right on there, y'all. I don't know where that footage went. Now I'm going to make, I don't know, I got this from, the way to make this bow from Savannah on Savvy Crafts with Savannah. I don't know if she calls it her messy bow or the X bow or what it is, but it's about the easiest thing that I could find for me to make a bow. And you're just basically making an X pattern and then bunching it together. I take a pipe cleaner, go into the middle of it, tie, you know, and twist it all together. Now I'm taking my scissors and dovetailing, and this really is easy. I'm going to find where she has one of these on her channel if I can, and link it in the description box below so y'all can go watch her. Her and Melissa, y'all, they've been great helps with me through my YouTube journey, and I really truly appreciate it. So we're just putting that right there in the middle, and this is what the tag turns out like. I love it. Simple, simple. Probably a $4 craft, but I think it's great. And this is just how I decided to style everything. Right now I have all this in our bedroom, and I just love how it all turned out. It was all really simple, easy crafts. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you all would, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, y'all. I made it to, I think I'm at 66. If y'all could help me out, that would mean the world to me. I know that God's in on this journey with me because he showed himself strong on many, many days the last few days, or many, many times the last few days. So if y'all would subscribe, I would really appreciate it, and like and comment on my videos. Let me know which was your favorite today. And I hope you all have a blessed, blessed day.